happened was true. The most bizarre and brutal series of crimes in America.
Stop! Stop!
This is the movie that is just as real, just as close, just as terrifying as being there. Even if one of them survives, what will be left? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. After you stop screaming, you'll start talking about it.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 31 Days of Monsters, Day 25. I'm your host, Graham Nolan, and today we're talking about a game changer. Whether you like this movie or not, you can't deny the impact it had on horror films and films in general. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre by Tobe Hooper, you would think is a lot gorier than it is. I saw it in the theaters when it was probably in its first re-release. It was probably around 1979, 1980, something like that. And I was just completely shocked by it. You know, I swear I saw a lot more than I did when I watched it the other day. And that's the first time I've seen it since I saw it in the theater. I was surprised at how little gore there is, but that doesn't stop it from being terrifying. It's a really, really terrifying movie. The sets, the house that these people end up in is super creepy and disgusting. The cannibal family is creepy and disgusting. The things that it implies, you know, like when they find the cars with the covering over it, implies, you know, they're not the first ones to be made into sausages, if you will. We don't know what their motivations are, nor do we care. This is really just a terror fest. They say it's based on a true story. I mean, I suppose you could say a lot of the stuff is based on Ed Gein's crimes up in Wisconsin, I believe it was. Wisconsin, Minnesota, somewhere around there. Well, that's the same place, isn't it? Minnesota, Wisconsin. Yeah. Anyway, back to it. This movie, along with Night of the Living Dead and The Exorcist, really changed, I think, how we perceive horror. This, I guess you could say, is like the first slasher film, if you will, whereas Night of the Living Dead dealt with zombies, which is supernatural, really, or monsters, I guess. And The Exorcist, of course, dealt with the supernatural, preceded, of course, by Rosemary's Baby. And you could make an argument that that was the first one of that kind of supernatural that really was terrifying. But those three movies, and I'd throw in Rosemary's Baby too, those four movies really changed the look of horror. Texas Chainsaw actually has less gore in it than like its predecessor, Friday the 13th, you know, or any of those. I won't include Halloween in there because that one was a game changer as well. And again, that's one that doesn't have a lot of gore in it as well. But I think that elevates these kind of movies. You know, if you can get the fear factor up and the creep factor up without, you know, having guts spill out and all that kind of nonsense, I think that goes a long way in storytelling. That get the hair on your arm to raise up. Um, so, yeah, like I said, this one is not one I will revisit anytime soon because it is very disturbing, but it's also very, very well done. It hits all the notes that they're trying to hit you with. Um, Not a lot of dialogue. I mean, there's some, the characters, the character of the brother is a pain in the ass, the guy in the wheelchair. I don't really care for him. The other characters, the kid characters, of course, picking up a hitchhiker, they do stupid stuff, like they all do in these dopey horror movies. They behave stupidly and fuck around and find out, I guess, is the motto here. But uh I certainly wouldn't have picked up that goofball on the side of the road, with the way he looked, But this is 1974, and these young kids, coming off the 60s, they're probably thinking, "Oh yeah, man, he's just like us, let's pick him up." So, uh, yeah. I guess it's probably the first movie where you get the teenagers, minus the sex thing, which became a trope. Teenagers have sex, they die. Um, they don't in this. There's no sex, there's no nudity, none of that. But there is, these couples, that are going off to visit, one of their grandfather's old homes. Um, I don't know why you'd walk around in that thing. I mean, how long ago did Grandpa die? Because that thing looks like it'd been in disrepair for about 50 years. Uh, but again, silly stuff, silly setups, but just terrifying end result. So I give this one a very high grade because of how influential it is. Uh, so let's see who made it today at this quick time that I threw it up. I like to keep it on schedule if I can. I had to set up a TV for Julie, and I lost track of time. And I'm like, "Oh shit, I better get down there and set up the stream." So first one in the room is Rick 1662. I thought this would be scarier, a lot over the top acting, scenes too long with too much screaming. There was a lot of screaming, but I guess that what makes it work in a certain amount. Black Ice wants to know, just in case if I could ask later, will there be a bundle including both stories for the Shinu 77 campaign? And the answer to that is yes, there will be. It's limited because I have limited copies of the first printing of the Shinu. So if that's something you're interested, you should grab that quick. Rick also says tomorrow is a classic movie. It is indeed. Tomorrow is George Pal's 1953 War of the Worlds. Like Kick One is here checking in, as well as Chris Juliano, who says there's been so many sequels to this film, it's hard to follow. Oh, Crazy Cat throwing it down says Halloween is overrated and boring. Texas Chainsaw Massacre still holds up and is still just as terrifying. I can't agree with that, Crazy Cat. I think Halloween still holds up. I think it's excellent. Let's see, Halloween came out in what, 78? So it's just 4 years after Texas Chainsaw. Hail all GM. This was my favorite of the massacres to date. The end scene still freaks me out. Yeah. That girl may have gotten away, but she did not get away unscathed. She's going to be a complete mental mess the rest of her life, and you can tell by how she's behaving in the truck there. JP Roken says, this movie was the worst. Not only did it have dirty hippies, it had hillbillies too. Chris says, agree, this is one is terrifying, though I thought the one in 2003, 2004 with Jessica Biel was also well made. I didn't see the remakes. I tend to avoid those, especially really modern ones. But if you say it's good, I'll check it out. Jessica Biel is always easy on the eyes. Gas station man, look what your brother did to that door. Has he got no pride in his home? That shithole. Marcus Kellegrew is here. He says, what's really scary is when the wife decides to buy some furniture. It's scary on the wallet. There's actually a great new video that just dropped with Bill Hader talking about this film. Oh, cool. Many say Psycho is the first slasher for the shower scene alone. That's true. I forgot about Psycho, really pushing the envelope there. So yeah, I'm going to amend my my list and add Psycho because that predates Night of the Living Dead. Well, certainly predates them all as far as like a slasher film. So you're absolutely right. Certain movies have an impact that is amplified by imagination. I saw Predator when I was young, and I could swear the Predator completely blew out Blaine's rib cage, but it was just a fist-sized hole. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, people swore that Psycho was in color, that they saw the red blood, and that they saw the knife go into Janet Leigh. And obviously, that never happened. But your mind fills it in. That's good. That's good storytelling. Picking up the hitchhikers was common and normal in the early 70s. Common and normal, yeah, but if you don't make any kind of assessment of who you're picking up, that guy looked like, you know, he smelled of crazy. Black ice reminds us that the people in the van must have been tourists because no real Texan wanders around unarmed. Very true. Very true. Also, no real Texan's gonna have a gas station barbecue. There may be an anti-carnivore message here, but after watching it, I made a beef goulash, and I'm also having sausages tonight. Sausages are great, you know. You just don't want to ask where they came from. Uh, TCM was a creative story inspired by guys like Gein. These days, they barely create new stories. They literally tell the Gein story and people lap it up. No more imagination, like AI. They made a 2024 sequel to this one with that final girl on Netflix, but I didn't like it. Oh, really? So they address what happened to her after the fact. Interesting. Crazy Cat says Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 with Dennis Hopper dueling Leatherface with chainsaws was instant classic. Wow. They tried capitalizing on the success from the new Halloween, but it did not do well. Ah, okay. I think I got everybody's comments here. The hitchhiker. Rob just came in. The hitchhiker scene was very well played. Rings true to a couple of situations where I've been near an unpredictable crazy with or without a blade. Yeah, that when that guy started going off and doing nutty stuff in there, you know, I'd be like, let's just pull over here and kick this asshole out because, you know, they were very tolerant hippies. I'll say that much for them. And like Black Ice mentioned, they would have pulled out a handgun. So get the fuck out of here, boy. Of course, they're hippies, so they might not have had them. Okay. So as we mentioned, guys, War of the Worlds is tomorrow. That will be what time am I gonna get that in? Mornings are usually tight. We get back. The Bills are playing at 1. So we might have to do a early evening show tomorrow, somewhere after the game, unless the Bills of the last game show up and they stink up the field. Then we might throw it up earlier. But I'm thinking maybe 5 o'clock tomorrow, something like that. So I will put together the show at some point tomorrow. So if you haven't done so, make sure you're signed up and subscribed to the channel. Click that like button, help my algorithms, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for a great Gene Barry film, War of the Worlds. Until then, have a great Saturday, and I'll see you. Bye.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.